And the capacity crowd here at the Showboat enjoyed that up close and personal with Winston-Salem native. We're here now getting ready for the second head-to-head doubles match. Winners Scott Devers and Matt Karlsson in the first game, 235 to 171.
Mismatched the first match, but I'm sure the action will pick up here as touring player Curtis Odom and Adam Colton, who is a regional player, are ready.
As they did at the beginning of the first match over Laub and Knipple, opening with a strike. Now Curtis Odom looking for that elusive first PBA title, as is his partner Adam Colton.
Learned to bowl at Major League Lanes in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where we had ABC televised events for a number of years. Used to watch the tournament, now he's in it.
Baby, a family of 4 children. Curtis Odom, all even. And now Adam Colton is 28 years old, from Coral Springs, Florida, PBA member for 8 years, a lot of regional experience. Disappointed with the 10.
Adam Colton, not known to many of the fans at home, but to the Southern regional players, he is known as a steady, solid player. He owns a pro shop in Tamarack, Florida, one of the Don Carter centers. As his wife looks on, it really became a kind of a vacation for Christine and Adam out here, and now it's turning into money-making propositions. So he's going to be the guy that's going to make the difference if they win here today.
But unfortunately, into the channel, the man that doesn't want to come out on the tour full-time, loves his work at Don Carter Lanes in Tamarack. Okay, Mats Karlsson of Sweden.
See the ball of Colton sliding by. This is the inexperience versus the experience. The experienced players, Devers and Karlsson, have the early upper hand.
Oh, that pair perfect. 2 frames, and teammate Scott Devers is back up.
Devers' very unusual style. He pushes the ball way out on the push away, and then he wraps the swing kind of around his back and then lines it as he comes through. Very difficult. He has to really wait for his swing to get it back on target. There it goes outside, and he pulls it back in.
Leaving a 2-pin.
And there's the reason you don't want that type of push away, Chris. So when he pushed it out, it stayed out. He cut right across and pulled the ball high. Luckily, avoided the split. Now watch it from this angle. He pushes the ball away from his body, then realigns it. It's fine when it's perfect, but there's a lot of room for mistakes.
Very erect, going to the line, following through beautifully. Had a great year in '87. Won twice. Now Curtis Odom.
Bowled 54 regional tournaments in 1987 and '88, which prepared him for the tour. He had a great year in '89 out here.
All right. 2 strikes for Curtis Odom. There'll be a lot of strikes in the form of punches thrown live from England on Wide World of Sports, which follows, because top contender Marcus Villasana meets undefeated Paul Hodkinson for the WBC Featherweight Championship. Okay, now. And Pernell Whitaker, a broadcast premiere of the Whitaker-Nelson lightweight title fight. And again, Adam Colton, the 10-pin. He won't make the same mistake, though, I'll bet.
I don't know, Chris. You have to be in his shoes. It's very difficult to make your first telecast and perform well. I know I bowled 160 the first time I was ever in a championship round.
No.
Yep, with 4 strikes in a row. And he's only bowling 5 frames, so it makes it very, very tough.
Okay. We'll be back more. We're in Las Vegas, where there are 320 days of sunshine every year, and where the average humidity is 29% in this city on an elevation of 2,030 feet. We'll be back.
It's the Showboat PBA Senior Invitational on ABC's Pro Bowler Spring Tour next Saturday.
That's right, all the greats next week. Greats of the past and of the present, Hall of Famer Marshall Holman. And on the right, Triple Crown winner Pete Weber and his lady friend Kim. All right, and that's Karlsson. He has really been bowling well here today as we go to Bo.
Thank you, Chris. The left-handed doubles team in the semifinal game. You guys, you may have a slight advantage, both being lefties, where the other team has just a lefty and a righty. What's your feelings?
Well, I think we have an advantage. We can line up both off of each other, and if one person happens to start struggling, he can work with the other one and try to line him right in.
How much help did he give you all week, Huey?
He gave me a lot of help in the 10th frame. He bowled anchor, I led off. I had a couple of games where I didn't strike out in the 10th, and he followed me up and bailed me out every time. So if it works out again that way today, that'll be fine with me.
It's going to be a tough team, Chris, in the semifinal.
Okay, Scott Devers with a tentative strike. Strike nonetheless as we look at Curtis Odom. Curtis and his partner Adam Colton are trailing by 31 pins. This our second match as Karlsson and Devers, their opponents, won the first match over Larry Laub and Bobby Knippel, 235 to 171 as Curtis Odom now for the spare changes bowling balls.
Uses a shinier ball. He just puts it in the polishing machine, reduces the surface friction, and it'll make it slide a little bit more on the lane, a little better control.
All right. Good lesson on how to cover the 7 pin by Curtis Odom. 32 pins separating Adam Colton, who will be shooting next, Curtis Odom.
Big shot for Adam Colton. He was around the pocket in the second frame, missed the 10 pin. Then he had an errant shot in the 4th and got away with a spare. He needs to get zeroed in here.
Oh, good. And they're cheering in Coral Springs, Florida, and at Tamarack at the Don Carter Lanes for their pro shop owner. Okay, now to Karlsson, who has only missed striking 1 time today. That's right. This is his second game. Still holds true.
Karlsson's hitting the key lane. I had the good fortune of winning this tournament in 1982 with Sam Zurich as a partner, and Sam played on lane 60, the right-hand lane that Karlsson's on. And in one stretch, Sam threw 9 strikes in a row over a 2-game period, and that carried us right to the title. And that's right now what Mats Karlsson is doing for Scott Devers. This team looks very, very tough.
Leaving a 2-4-7, and the winner of this